So the draft's officially over now, and I loved the Dolphins draft. I really did. I thought we had a great draft. I know a lot of people have been Debbie Downers, very negative. I didn't realize the Dolphins fan base was so negative. Like it was insane to me. They're all complaining about every pick. Oh, how could you pick that guy there? How could you do that? How could you do that when this guy was available? Oh, we need this position. Blah blah blah. And I get it. Every fan base is gonna have negative people. They're fans. That's the nature of the position, I guess, of fans. But when you actually look at it and assess the draft, it was a great draft. And I'm gonna break down my thoughts on it here, essentially pick by pick, I guess. Now, the round one, I already did a video on that on Friday, so you can go check that out. I'll link it somewhere, or you can just go into the channel and it'll be the previous video, the last video. But basically, I'll just give a quick summary. Jaylen Waddle, love the pick. I think he's gonna be great. I love his explosiveness, his speed. He's a really good football player. He's a really good receiver. He's gonna help Tua a lot. He's gonna help the running game a lot too. When we send him deep, he's gonna have to. He forces his speed, his ability as well. He's not just a fast guy, right? He's not John Ross. He's a football player. Like, he's a legit receiver, and so he's gonna push the secondary back. He's gonna push the defense back. Will Fuller as well. Those two additions, Will Fuller and Jaylen Waddle, are going to be huge in helping the run game. But I'm going to get into that later because that was a big topic of discussion within the Dolphins fan base. But anyways, yeah, Jaylen Waddle, love the pick. Pair him back up with Tua, which I never really was like, oh, you got to draft this guy because he's teammates with Tua or whatever. Like, no, draft the best guy. And to the Dolphins, the best guy at 6 was Jaylen Waddle. And so they took him. Love it. Get to a playmaker, explosive, and let's go. 18 took Jaylen Phillips, another pick I absolutely loved. He was the best edge rusher in this class. Okay, a top 10 pick if it wasn't for the injuries. Now, to be fair, I don't know if he actually would have ended up going top 10 just because of the run on offense we saw, right? I think it was the first time in NFL history that the first 7 picks were all offensive players. So maybe that would have made him not a top 10 pick, but he would have gone top 10 talent for sure. And maybe he would have gone, but I don't know. Because then Carolina took a corner, Denver took a corner, and then obviously Dallas traded down, and Philly took DeVonta Smith. So maybe he wouldn't have gone top 10 because of just need or positions taken, or all the offensive firepower in the draft. But he fell to us at 18. That's a huge steal if he stays healthy. But like I said, if the Dolphins took him in 18, they must feel comfortable with the medical. He didn't get hurt at Miami, at the University of Miami. His injuries, his 2 concussions, his 2 football-related concussions came in the beginning of his college career at UCLA, right? And he hadn't had any after being forced to medically retire and then transferring to UM. He didn't have any. He played last year, got 8 sacks. This guy's good. He was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school. And so we got a steal at 18 if he can stay healthy. This guy's going to be a really good football player. He can be like a 10 sack a year guy, if not more. So very excited for him. But that was just a quick recap of round 1. I already did the video on that, like I mentioned. You can go check it out. Round 2. Now, I love the picks in round 2 as well. Now, yes, did I want Javante Williams? I did. I wanted him at 36, right? Because I'm aware of the issue with our running backs, the running back situation. Now, some people claim that we don't have a need for running back at all, that Gaskin and Ahmed are the guys, but I don't think either one of those guys are a true number 1 running back. And maybe they prove me wrong. Maybe Gaskin improves, right? Takes another step forward with the improved offensive line, which I'm going to get into as well. Maybe he does take that step forward, but I still would have liked Javante Williams to be that number one running back. He reminds me of Nick Chubb. Really a good football player. Really, really good. And he would have elevated Myles Gaskin as well. He would have helped him out a lot. Sort of how Nick Chubb helps Kareem Hunt, right? Kareem Hunt helps Nick Chubb. Those two running back rooms are the best. Running back by committee. It doesn't have to be a huge committee, but by two, like, people were complaining that the Jaguars took Travis Etienne at 25 because they had James Robinson, but I disagree. I think Travis Etienne was a great pick for the Jaguars. The running game is going to be even more effective now. And both James Robinson and Travis Etienne are going to have increased longevity because of this, right? You don't need, I don't know if you don't need the bell cow back. You don't need it. It's just going to get that running back injured. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. His yards per carry drop every year. Saquon Barkley's been hurt. Derrick Henry's really the only guy that's been spotless in that role, at least in recent, in the last couple of years. Christian McCaffrey got hurt. But yeah, so that's just a quick aside. I thought that was a good pick by the Jaguars. But I would have wanted Javante Williams. He would have helped out the running back room. Our running game tremendously helped out too. But the Broncos traded up to 35. There's nothing you could do about that. I mean, I guess the Dolphins could have traded up to 35, but I don't think they imagined that anyone else was going to trade up, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe they weren't even going to take Javante Williams, because I've seen some reports that Javon Holland was their guy at 36, regardless if Javante Williams was there. And I'm very happy with the Javon Holland pick. I think it's a great pick. I love it, especially with Javante Williams being off the board. I love it. If Javante Williams was on the board and they took him, maybe it would have been a bit salty, but I still would have loved the pick because he's a great football player. He makes our secondary even better, right? He's a ball hawk. He's a missile. That guy plays all over the field. You can put him in the slot corner position, but he's probably going to play safety for the most part. He's going to be our new Minkah Fitzpatrick, who hopefully doesn't complain about being moved around. That would be nice. And he's just gonna help out. Him, Xavier Howard now, those guys are ball hawks, right? Xavier Howard's obviously, we all know what Xavier Howard can do, the turnovers he can create. Javon Holland is a ball hawk. Byron Jones, and I know Byron Jones had a bit of a shaky first year with us, but I expect him to improve. He had that groin injury against Buffalo, probably hampered by that throughout the year. So I expect him to get back and be locked down, right? Noah Igbenogany. I expect a jump from Igbenogany. Igbo. At least I'm hoping for a jump, but gotta remember that dude, he was the youngest player in the league last year at one of the hardest positions to transition to the NFL. And so I have to believe he's going to keep improving. He's going to improve. And he wasn't bad at the end of the year last year. He came on and, he played some snaps and he was much better than he was in the beginning of the year. And there was clear improvement. And so I'm excited for that. But yeah, Javon Holland just makes our defense, our secondary, that much better. Right? And now with Jaylen Phillips, could you imagine Jaylen Phillips now rushing the passer? Our D-line now, Jaylen Phillips, Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Andrew Van Ginkel, pass rusher, beast. And so now we boost the pass rush, which helps the secondary, right? Having a great pass rush helps the secondary by itself. So when you have, hopefully, what's going to be a great pass rush, assuming, Jaylen Phillips is healthy and plays well, Andrew Van Ginkel keeps growing and keeps playing as well as he did. Emmanuel Ogbah has a similar season to what he did last year. He had 9 sacks. Raekwon Davis was a beast. Christian Wilkins, you get the point. If they play great, if they're great as a unit, then our already great secondary is going to get even better. Noah Igbenogany, his development's gonna come quicker. He's gonna develop more. So I'm very excited for that. So Javon Holland at 36, love the pick. Then we had the 50th pick, but we traded up to 42 with the Giants. We gave up a 2022 third, which was ours, not the Niners one that we got in the trade back. So we gave up our 2022 third move up to 42 to draft Liam Mikenberg, the tackle out of Notre Dame. Another pick I absolutely love. So that the first 4 picks I love. That those are 4 day one starters, right? Liam Mikenberg comes in and he's a day one plug and play tackle. I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna play him at right tackle, which I think is the right move. You don't want to stunt Austin Jackson's development necessarily at left tackle because that's what he was playing last season. That's what he was growing at. That's what he's been learning. And so I would keep him at left tackle. You have Eichenberg at right tackle, who can pass protect, he can run block. He's gonna help out the offensive line tremendously in more ways than one. Not just not just in his play, but now Robert Hunt gets kicked inside to guard, where I think Robert Hunt can really thrive. I think he's really gonna thrive at guard. Solomon Kinley is at guard, is also going to be at guard, and we saw Solomon Kinley come on and play really well as a rookie, right? Played decently well. Started 4th-round pick, and the guy was a mauler. Now, can he improve as well? Yes, but I think the Dolphins knew that all along. Chris Greer, Brad Flores, they knew last year when they were drafting the 3 offensive linemen, right? Jackson, Hunt, and Kinley. These guys are going to need to develop. These are developmental picks, and it's up to us. It's up to us and them to develop. And so, and to be fair, they all came in and played well to a degree, right? Rookie year, which was a good sign. I don't think they expected those guys to play as well immediately as they did. And so I'm happy about that. They're going to keep developing. Like I said, Liam Eichenberg's introduction, or the pick of Liam Mikenberg, it's going to help improve that rest of the line as well. And we're off and running now. The center position is still a question mark. We signed Matt Skura. Maybe Dieter. Maybe they've been grooming Dieter to play center. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen with the center position. Now, Skura, he was good like 2 years ago. And then he got injured and he had the snapping problems. That was the big thing with him. So I don't know if he's able to fix that or not. I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to see how they handle the center position. But the rest of the offensive line, which I guess we have a vision for, right? We see how it's going to play out, how they're going to do it. It looks good. So I'm excited for that. And then at pick 81, this was the pick that had Dolphins fans scratching their head, right? Including me at the time, and to a degree now, right? But I'll explain why I don't hate the pick. I actually like it. But we took tight end Hunter Long at 81. And now Dolphins fans are saying, tight end? Why would you do? We have Mike Gesicki, we have Durham Smythe, we have Adam Shaheen. You take a tight end when Quinn Miners is on the board, when we need a linebacker, right? Positions of need. We need a running back, even though, I mean, I guess you could say maybe Trey Sermon, but if we were picking one of those positions of need, I'd rather Quinn Miners or a linebacker. I think Baron Browning was on the board at that point as well. So he would have been a good pick. But we took Hunter Long, tight end, which isn't a position of need this year. However, both Gesicki and Durham Smythe are in the last year of their deal. So this move could be made with in anticipation of one of those guys leaving. Now, I hope we re-sign Gesicki. Like, I really do. I hope this isn't like, oh, you know, we got Hunter Long, forget about Mike Gesicki. No. He's a great player that's been consistently improving, getting better. He was our best receiver last year to a safety blanket. We better keep that guy. Better re-sign him. I'm a big Mike Gesicki fan. But now you bring in Hunter Long. And if you actually just evaluate the pick as Hunter Long as the player, he's a good player. Okay? Or he has the chance to be a good player. He can be a good player for the Dolphins. And so it wasn't a bad pick. Because if a few years from now, we look back and we're like, or a few years from now, Hunter Long is one of the best tight ends in the league, right? Say, for example. Then does it really matter who we took him over? Maybe. if those still are still positions of need, and those other guys that were available are superstars at their positions, and we just can't get it together. Maybe, but I don't think I will, because you got to draft. At that point, I think Hunter Long was near best player available for them. And I mean, people outside of the Dolphins, fan base or whatever, or media and all that stuff, seem to like the pick. I mean, Scott Pioli, who's a former GM, he said he loves this pick, and that Hunter Long is going to be a Pro Bowler in 2-3 years. Matt Miller, I think, had him ranked in the 50s on his big board. He said this is another day one starter. And so let's do tight end sets now with Hunter Long and Mike Gesicki. Envision this, right? Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jaylen Waddle, and then Hunter Long and Mike Gesicki. Those are weapons. Those are real weapons for Tua, and I'm very excited about that. And so I'm going to reserve like true judgment on the Hunter Long pick until I actually see him playing, see was he the best player available at that position or at that point, at that pick. If he is, then I can't really complain if he turns out to be a beast, right? Because at the end of the day, what were we banging the table for all season? Get to some playmakers, playmakers all off season. Tua needs playmakers, and I agree. I was leading that charge. All the media is criticizing Tua. Oh, Tua's not good enough. Tua this. I mean, he needs someone. He needs playmakers, right? Devontae Parker's a playmaker. Mike Gesicki's a playmaker, but those two guys were hurt at various points in the season. Now, they played through it for the most part, but they were still hindered by injuries. Preston Williams, to a second game, Preston Williams gets hurt, out for the rest of the season, right? And we don't need to get into the other guys, because you all saw, And so it's not really fair to criticize Tua for that. But now he has playmakers, and I'm so excited. I believe in Tua. I think he's going to be great. Now, moving on, day 3, it's more of a developmental, or you just have guys you think you like, character, work ethic, stuff like that. Maybe he becomes something. It's much more of a flyer day. But still, over half the league is built on day 3 and undrafted, so you can get high impact guys here in the long run. We didn't have a 4th round pick. We did have a 5th round pick, 156. And I was waiting for us to make that pick. I was sitting watching the draft. Like, can we get to 156 already? We get to 156 and we trade out of that spot. We trade pick 156 to the Steelers for a 2022 4th, which I'm cool with. Because next year, because I know it sucked not having a 4th round pick. I was like, man, I wish we had a 4th round pick. And so next year we're gonna have, I think 2 4th round picks, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be cool. Maybe some players will drop. Who knows? Maybe we saw Jabril Cox drop to the 4th this year. Maybe something similar happens next year. So that would be cool. So yeah, we tried out of 156, and then our only other picks were 231 and 244, both in the 7th round. And we took Larnell Coleman, tackle, out of UMass, and then Jared Dokes, running back. I don't have much to say about those picks. I don't really know. I watched highlights and tape and stuff like that, watch him play. Jared Dokes is huge. He's just a wrecking ball. I love how he played the game, so I'm cool with that. And then Larnell Coleman apparently is very versatile, which seems to be Greer's liking in offensive linemen. If you're versatile, he's a fan. So Larnell Coleman, he has big arms as well, long arms. So that's cool. So I don't really know much. I mean, they're 7th round guys, sort of flyer guys. Maybe Jared Dokes, though. I could see Jared Dokes being successful. I really could. If he comes in, and hey, I guess Chris Greer was listening to all the fans wanting a running back. But if he comes in and plays well, I wouldn't be shocked. Right? He's 5'11 and a half, I think, like 230 or something. He's a bowling ball, just super physical. He blocks. He can pass protect. So that's cool. But yeah, don't really know much about those. But anyways, overall, I really loved the draft. I thought we had one of the better drafts in the league, and most agree, to be fair. And so I'm very optimistic for this next season. Let me know how you feel about it. If you loved it like I did, if you liked it a little bit less, if you wish we would have gone for center, running back, whatever, linebacker at 81, positions of need, targeted that, trade up for Javante Williams, whatever, taking Najee Harris at 18, uh, which I don't agree with. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't have taken. I would not have taken Najee Harris at 18. But hey, that's your opinion, right? If you think that, so let me know if that is your opinion or that was your opinion. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, and as always, fins up.